Hello YouTubers, before I get into my final thoughts, I just want to show you that. Why? I don't know if you can change anything with that pull down menu, but basically I can have a look at my stocks, which I don't have any, or the weather, and it shows me my notifications, which I've never really seen in the top of that, so I don't know why they have it. If anybody knows how, if there is possible to add anything to this, any widgets or anything like that, or that's pretty much how it is, then please let me know in the comments. I would muchly appreciate it. Also, yet again, I will put a link to the Video Camera Plus app in the description, so that if you're interested in getting it, then it will be in there. I would highly recommend you get it because I think it's a really good app to have. So, good stuff, bad stuff, final thoughts. Yes. Okie dokie. So, bad stuff. When you record video and you transfer it from your iPod Touch into your laptop or your desktop, there's probably a good chance it's going to be upside down, which really annoyed me because, you know, when I'm editing videos, I've got to go into Vegas and turn it the right way up before I do anything, which is really annoying. And I did notice on the 4th gen iPod Touch that does that as well, but it is a little bit annoying. One thing that I keep doing is mistyping the K. Whenever I go to press K, instead of pressing K, it goes to L instead. I don't know why that would be. I'd never had that problem with the 4th gen. Why I have it with this, I don't know. Sometimes the touchscreen is a little bit unresponsive. For example, when I go into settings and go to the brightness, sometimes it won't do it. And so I have to go at it quite a few times in order to be able to do it. And when the brightness turns itself off, you know, that is a little bit annoying. So sometimes the touchscreen doesn't work as I would like it to, but then the 4th gen had that problem. Whether it's the screen guard that does that or not, I don't know, but I'd say 90% of the time it works okay, and 10% of the time you have to press it a couple of times in order for it to do something. The camera app is very basic. Like I showed you in my video before, there's no way of changing the resolutions on the front camera, and everything is very basic. That is why I keep recommending the Video Camera Plus, because it gives you so many more options. The lightning connector, that annoys me, mainly because I've got a docking station, and in order to use this with that docking station, I've got to spend an extra 30 quid to buy the adapter. Now, considering that you pay, I think it's 230 quid or 250 quid from Apple. You pay 250 quid for this, for the 32 gig version from Apple, and then you've got to pay an extra 30 quid for it to fit to all of your accessories. Or you then got to spend X amount of money to buy new accessories for it, which I think is a little bit annoying, to be honest. It would have been nice if they'd have kept the original or put an adapter in the box so that you don't have to spend the extra money. And I think lastly is the lens flare issue as far as the cameras are concerned. Fishy Comics very kindly did a video response for me showing me what the iPhone 4S is like. I don't know whether it's green, but that does have a lens flare problem as well. I have been told that it is a sort of lens flare issue as far as the cameras are concerned. To be honest, it isn't a big issue for me. There are ways around it. It would be nice if it wasn't there, but having looked at the quality of the video between the iPod Touch 4th gen and 5th gen, I would rather have that little green thing and the better quality than not have it. That's the bad stuff. Now for the good stuff. The battery life, I think, is an improvement over the 4th gen. This does last longer for me than the 4th gen did, so I am quite happy with the battery life, especially as far as the, you know, Angry Birds is concerned. That works really well, and it doesn't take up as much battery as the 4th gen did, which is quite groovy. It charges quicker. You know, I think it took about 30 minutes, 45 minutes to get it up to 80%, which I thought was pretty good. The camera quality is a lot better, obviously, than the 4th gen, as I showed in the videos that I did, but I was quite surprised by the low light, that the 4th gen actually was brighter than the 5th gen in some situations, which I thought was quite interesting. Out of the two, I would prefer the 5th gen because the quality of the video, especially the front facing camera, was quite a huge improvement. The internet seems to be faster and better, seems to work a lot better, especially with that 4-inch screen. Frames per second, in low light, sometimes I've got 25 frames per second, sometimes I've got 30 frames per second. It depended on what kind of lighting I had, to be honest. But most of the time I got at least 25 frames per second, which I was quite happy with. During the day I got 30 frames per second on both cameras, outside all the time, so I was quite happy with that. The bigger screen does make a difference, especially when you're looking at your playlists, and also when you're on the internet. It does make quite a big difference. Having used the Galaxy Ace 2 and the Galaxy S2, which has got a 4.3 inch screen and 3.8 inch screen, having that 4-inch screen does make a difference, and it's quite easy to use as well if you're doing it one-handed. The file names, when you record or take pictures with the camera, it continues the file names, so you don't have to rename the files every time you transfer it onto your computer, which I was impressed with. And it even does that with Video Camera Plus as well, which was pretty groovy. Siri Siri cracks me up. Okay, you do need Wi-Fi for Siri, but I love it. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I don't know what the differences are, if there are any, between the iPhone and the iPod Touch, but I just think it's absolutely marvellous and I really enjoy using it. Having the flash, also being able to turn it on and off while you're recording, is a real good plus. The video and the audio I thought was better than the 4th gen. In the video that I did, the comparison in low light, I sort of switched between audios for the 4th gen and the 5th gen, and I thought the 5th gen did a better job as far as the audio was concerned, and the video quality as well. So that's the good stuff and the bad stuff. So what do I think? I think you've probably ascertained what I think. First of all, my recommendations. I would recommend that you get yourself a case, because it will protect the camera lens, and also some people have said without a case, when you put it on the table it does wobble. With a case it won't. You get your extra protection and you don't have to worry so much about dropping it. Also, with a case like this, you've also got a cutout for the lanyard, which is pretty good. I'd also recommend you get a screen guard as well to protect from scratches. As far as software is concerned, make sure your QuickTime is up to date, because that will help when playing back videos. As far as the orientation is concerned, you won't get it upside down. And I would also recommend that you get Video Camera Plus. It does make quite a big difference. Also, there are other camera apps out there that would help if you're using it as a stills camera. So I would recommend that you get some camera apps. Video Camera Plus really makes a difference for me, because I take video with this. So that has made quite a big difference. So what do I think of it? I love it. I think it's brilliant. I think it's quite a big improvement over the 4th gen. Everything about it is a lot better. Okay, it does have its issues, and there are a few, but to be honest with you, I think all of the pluses outweigh the negatives. And those negatives aren't really that big anyway. Having had an iPod Touch 4th gen, then going to Android, then coming back, I'm really glad that I've come back to the iPod Touch, because I really liked it before on the 4th gen, and this is a huge improvement over the 4th gen. So I would recommend it. So who would I recommend it to? I think if you've got a 4th gen and you use your 4th gen for internet, checking your emails, going on YouTube and all that sort of stuff, the extra size screen might help you. But other than that, I can't really see that there would be any reason to upgrade. Not at the moment anyway, because of the price. If you've never had an iPod Touch and you can afford it, then I would say go for the iPod Touch 5th gen, because it is a lot better than the 4th gen as far as the camera's concerned. The internet is quicker, I found. But if you're not a video taker, then I would say that the 4th gen is good enough for you, and it's cheaper. So it all depends on money, to be honest. If money's not an issue, then I would say you've got a 4th gen, upgrade to the 5th, because there is a lot of stuff about it which is a huge improvement. But if money is an issue, then I would say hold off, keep your 4th gen until the 5th comes down in price a bit. But I really like it. I would recommend it. If you're thinking about getting it, and money isn't an issue, then go for it. But you will have to realise that the lightning connector, you will have to get an adapter for your accessories. And I think that's my biggest annoyance about this, is the fact that you have to pay the extra money for the adapter. Other than that, it is a really nice device and I would highly recommend it. So yeah, there you go. That's my final thoughts on the iPod Touch 5th Gen. For now, as far as the iPod Touch 5th Gen is concerned, unless I get some new apps, then I won't be doing any more videos about it, because I think I've pretty much covered everything about it. That's enough from me. Hope you're having a good day, and I'll do some more later on. Bye bye for now.